Ford just admitted something no car company should ever say out loud. They can't fix your car. But why would a trillion-dollar auto industry fail at basic repairs? Right now, across the US, over 6,000 Ford service bays are sitting empty. And the reason you're being told for this problem isn't the real one. Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford, recently, in interviews with Yahoo Finance and the Office Hours podcast, Farley openly admitted that Ford dealerships across the US have thousands of service bays sitting unused, not because they lack tools, but because they lack people. According to Farley, there are between 5,000 and 6,000 unfilled service bays right now, a bay with tools, and no technician to work in it. Farley didn't hide this. He didn't deny it. He said it openly. Thousands of jobs, no one to fill them. Then came the number that really caught attention. Ford claims these mechanic jobs can pay up to $120,000 a year. That's nearly double the US median income. On paper, that sounds incredible. So if these jobs pay that much money, why is no one taking them? Why are bays sitting empty while customers wait weeks, sometimes months, for repairs? Well, they blame a labor shortage. They say young people don't want to work with their hands anymore. They say blue-collar jobs are no longer respected. That explanation sounds believable, but it doesn't explain the full picture. It's also deeply misleading, and that's where the mechanics step in. After Farley's comments went public, a Ford mechanic responded. He explained how the job actually works, using one real repair as an example: an oil pan gasket on a Ford F-250. On paper, Ford says this job pays about 0.6 hours. That's roughly 36 minutes. This number comes from what's called flat rate pay. You are paid for what the book says the job should take, not for how long it actually takes. So if the book says 36 minutes, you get paid for 36 minutes, even if the job takes all day. Now here's the problem. On modern F-250 trucks, you can't easily reach the oil pan. To get to it, the entire cab often has to come off the frame. That means unbolting the whole passenger compartment, lifting it with special equipment, doing the repair, then putting everything back together. This is not a small job. Mechanics say it can take several hours, sometimes most of the day, but the pay doesn't change. So the mechanic works 8 hours, but gets paid for 36 minutes. That means they are effectively working for free for more than 7 hours. The job itself is priced in a way that makes it impossible to win. This is not about laziness or skill. It's about math that doesn't work. And once you hear this, the empty service bays start to make sense. Because no matter how much someone loves fixing cars, no one can survive like this for long. And it gets even worse once you understand how these trucks are actually built. On many modern Ford trucks, some basic repairs can't be done from the engine bay. There simply isn't space. So mechanics are forced to remove the entire cab from the frame. That means disconnecting wiring, removing bolts, using specialized lifts, carefully raising the passenger compartment off the truck. One mistake can damage sensors, wiring, or the body itself. And once the repair is done, everything has to be lined up and reassembled perfectly. It takes training, experience, and extreme care. Now remember the pay. Ford's flat rate system still says the job pays 0.6 hours, but in the real world, that same job can take 8 hours. Paid for 36 minutes, worked for 8 hours. That's more than 7 hours of unpaid labor. 7 hours where the mechanic is using their own tools, burning their body, taking responsibility for a high-risk repair, and earning nothing for most of the day. This happens again and again. And once a mechanic realizes this, something changes. They stop taking these jobs, or they leave, because no skilled worker can survive in a system where doing your job correctly means losing money. So when Ford says there's a mechanic shortage, you have to ask a different question. Why would any skilled worker accept this? And this is exactly where Ford's shortage story starts falling apart. Because the problem isn't that mechanics don't exist, it's that the system makes it impossible for them to stay. And next, you'll see how even the idea of empty bays isn't what it seems. Another Ford mechanic stepped in to explain what those empty bays actually mean. His name doesn't matter as much as his experience. He's been in the shop, he's worked the system, and he says the picture being painted by corporate is misleading. Inside dealerships, there's something called the one hoist rule. To corporate offices, every lift is seen as a potential profit machine. If a lift is empty, they assume money's being lost. So when Ford says there are thousands of empty service bays, what they're really saying is this. They believe those spaces could be used to push out more work. But that ignores how the job actually functions. In reality, a skilled mechanic cannot work efficiently with just one lift. They need at least two, one for the job they're actively working on and another for the next vehicle waiting. In many cases, 3 lifts is ideal. Without that setup, work bottlenecks instantly. Cars pile up, repairs slow down. This mechanic explained that in his prime, every available hoist was already in use. There were no lifts sitting empty because technicians were missing. The lifts were fully occupied because the shop was already stretched to its limit. An empty bay doesn't mean no mechanic. It means Ford wants more output without more support. They want more cars fixed, more profit generated, without investing in proper space, equipment, or workflow. And when you understand this, the story changes completely. Because if mechanics are already maxed out and the system is already strained, the real question becomes obvious. Then why are repairs still delayed for months? The answer isn't about space, it's about what kind of work mechanics are avoiding. And that's where warranty repairs come in. Warranty work, the kind that fixes factory problems, is where mechanics lose money. The pay is locked, the time is capped. And if the job takes longer than Ford says it should, that extra work is unpaid. Customer pay work is different. When an owner pays out of pocket, mechanics can actually earn a living. So skilled mechanics make a simple choice. They avoid warranty jobs whenever they can. This wouldn't be a huge issue if warranty repairs were rare, but they aren't. Ford vehicles come in for warranty work constantly. Ford also happens to have one of the highest recall volumes in the industry. Every recall creates more warranty repairs, more low-paying jobs, more pressure on the same mechanics, and the shop fills up with broken Fords that need warranty repairs. But the people capable of fixing them are actively trying to avoid those jobs because they lose money doing them. The more your Ford breaks, the less anyone wants to fix it. That single sentence explains weeks and months of waiting better than any corporate statement ever could. And it leads to a much bigger question. If Ford vehicles keep needing so much warranty work, why does that keep happening in the first place? Why are these vehicles breaking so often? The answer starts with how these vehicles are designed. Ford has a habit of redesigning vehicles every 3 years. Entire layouts, new components, new placements, engines, wiring, even how the cab fits on the frame. Everything can change. But flat rate pay doesn't change. The book time for a repair stays the same. A job that used to take 2 hours may now take 4 or 5. Mechanics still get paid for the old time. This creates a huge disconnect between the engineers designing cars and the mechanics repairing them. Engineers optimize for production speed. They think about how fast a truck can be assembled in the factory, but they rarely spend real time working on the vehicles once they hit the service bays. Every redesign adds more complexity, more frustration, and more unpaid labor. Every flat rate repair that doesn't match the real time adds financial stress. So the system keeps repeating itself. Mechanics are forced to work longer for the same pay. They're expected to learn new designs constantly, and no structural changes are made to support them. It's only a matter of time before the strain becomes too much. And that leads to the next part, the human cost. Skilled mechanics are paying the price. Their bodies are worn down from hours on concrete floors, bending into impossible spaces. They deal with sharp edges, heavy lifts, and repetitive strain injuries. Many started with debt from trade schools. $30,000, $50,000, even $100,000. Add the cost of tools, which can easily hit another $50,000. For years, many make minimum wage, struggling to pay off what they owe. Some look back and regret their career choice entirely. They wish they had gone into construction, heavy equipment, or electrical work, anything that actually pays for the work done. And the warning to the next generation is clear. Experienced mechanics are actively telling young people to stay away from dealership work. Ford continues to claim the average wait time for service is just 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks. But anyone in the shop knows that number doesn't reflect reality. Weeks can stretch into months, especially when complex warranty repairs pile up, and skilled mechanics are already burned out or quitting. So if you've ever wondered why your Ford sits longer than promised, it's not because of luck or chance. Mechanics say the numbers are misleading. Sometimes corporate pull data from quiet months or northern regions during tire season, when everyone is swapping tires at the same time. That short-term spike or lull gets used to create a national average. That means the 2-week claim doesn't reflect what most owners experience. For complex warranty repairs, waits can stretch into months. Cars sit idle while customers make their payments. Trucks and SUVs that cost tens of thousands just wait. Dealerships maintain large loaner fleets as they're forced to because so many vehicles are in the shop longer than expected. The system is designed to make the numbers look better than they are. The bigger issue is how Ford built a system where your vehicle can be both expensive to own and impossible to fix quickly. But what do you think? Comment down below, and if you want to know why your Ford breaks down so easily, check out our next video.